So, the most popular basic starter trio. I can't say I'm too surprised with the list, but I am surprised that number 2 wasn't number 1. What's going on, guys? HybridHero here, bringing you another episode of Poké Poll. Now, this is coming out on Sunday. I'm a day behind. This is supposed to be a Saturday series. It's coming out on Sunday. It's been coming out on Sunday for the past 2 weeks. I'll try to bring it to you guys on Saturday as best as possible, just getting a few things sorted out. And like I said earlier, this episode is on who is your favorite basic starter trio. Last week we covered who's your favorite starter Pokemon, your basic starter Pokemon. And that episode went on for a really long time. I didn't expect that. This will be much shorter, I promise. But also with that episode, I had to render and upload it like 9 times, okay? And ShowPro got me every time for whatever reason. That is the most edited anime footage I ever used in my life. And they kept getting me, okay? And even after I uploaded it, it was out there for like 3 days. And then they hit me with another copyright thing. So I had to go into that video and trim out footage. So if you look at it, you'll miss the parts of Rowlet, Bulbasaur, and Cyndaquil. I just spoiled part of it for you, but whatever. You don't know what order they come in. But those parts kind of just get skipped over, alright? My apologies for that, nothing I can do. I'm going to try and stick to using game footage from now on because ShowPro is not going to let me use anime footage, that's for sure. Anyways, this week, for your favorite basic starter trio, we had 259 votes in total. A lot less than before, but frankly, I didn't really ask that many people to share around this time. And I think 200 of these votes, around 200 of them, were just from us. So that's pretty good, that's pretty good. I'm still hoping that we can share this around a lot more. More people are coming to the channel. Thank you guys if you're new. Thank you for tuning in. I hope you enjoy the series. And I hope you enjoy the channel. But despite there being 259 votes, 2 of the starter trios got a large number of the votes, and you guys will see what I mean as we go on with the list, alright? Coming in at number 5, I'm pretty surprised by this choice. At number 5, we have the Kanto Starters. Now, I'm not surprised that the Kanto Starters made the list. I'm surprised they're at number 5. I was expecting them to be like number 2, okay? They weren't. They're only number 5. Sorry, I had to like burp there, but I didn't. They're only number 5, and I'm surprised, but I think this ties again into what we talked about last week, how Bulbasaur was the most popular of the basic Kanto starters, and Charmander and Squirtle probably are, for the most part, only popular because of their evolutions, Blastoise and Charizard respectively. So it's cool because the Kanto starters got 25 votes, and number 6 got 23 votes. We'll go over the entire list at the end. So they only won by 1 single vote, which is crazy because I genuinely thought people would love the OGs a lot more. And you guys definitely do love the OGs, but not as much as some other Pokemon. Coming in at number 4, something else I'm pretty surprised by, though I was expecting this to be at number 5, so not too surprised. Coming in at number 4, we have the Johto Starters at 27 votes. Now, again with last week, Totodile and Cyndaquil did make it up pretty far. And Chikorita, I don't think people necessarily hate Chikorita. I think there's a lot of people saying that, you know, Chikorita's hated a lot and all. And I don't think that's the case. If anything, I think Meganium gets a bit more hate than it should. I love Meganium personally, and Chikorita. But I think as a starter trio, like the 3 of them together, I think many people do love the Johto Starters because they're so simple and they do have a very unified look as a trio, at least in their basic form, in their base forms, right? And even in the anime, like I mentioned before, all 3 of them have very distinct personalities, and the fact that, you know, Ash had all 3 of them and they interact with each other quite frequently, I think it makes up for a lot of this list. But on top of that, like I said earlier, just very simple, very cute Pokemon that look very good together, and it's just hard to go wrong with the Johto Starters. Now from number 4 to number 3, we have quite a big jump, because at 43 votes for the number 3 spot, we have the Alola Starters. Oh my god. Rowlet, Litten, and Popplio. I was about to say Rowlet, Litten, and Sinnoh. Rowlet, Litten, and Popplio. This one, I thought people hated Popplio. I genuinely thought people hated Popplio, okay? But doesn't seem to be the case. I can't tell if people really like Rowlet and Litten, and because of that, Popplio just got boosted up because it's a trio, right? Or if people genuinely do like the 3 of them together. These are some really cool starters, if you ask me. Even in their base forms, their personalities, Rowlet being the cute one, Popplio being like kind of like the goofy one, and Litten kind of being like the cool shy one and all. I always loved them. When they were first revealed to us in the Sun and Moon trailer, I loved all three of them from the bat, and they were all pretty cool. I can't deny it. I think a lot of this has to do with the anime as well, similar to the Johto Starters, because the Sun and Moon anime is so recent and all. And for the most part, all three of them were in their base forms for a long time. So the anime, I wouldn't be surprised about if it did have a big influence on people's love for the Alolan Starters. But that's not to say that, you know, the Alolan Starters, that's not to take away anything from the Alolan Starters. By themselves, they're different and they're cute and they're, I would say, funny. They're goofy or funny. Like, as a trio, I would say the three of them, like, their dynamics together just makes it for a very entertaining kind of vibe, which is what they might be based off of. I went over this in another video. I'm gonna link it because I just mentioned it. But the theory is that the three of them were supposed to be entertainers, and honestly, as a trio, they pull it off quite well. So at number 3, we have the Alolan Starters. And for the number 2 spot, I'm so surprised this wasn't number 1, but it only lost by a few votes. At 57 votes, we have the Sinnoh Starters. Now, last week, Turtwig, Chimchar, and Piplup all made it into your favorite, like the favorite starter Pokemon list, alright? They were, I believe, number 10, number 5, and number 3 respectively. So I thought for sure they would make number 1 for this, because the whole trio is there. On top of that, the Sinnoh Starters, in at least their base and final forms, are just loved by almost everyone. Okay, it is like what I consider to be almost the perfect starter trio. I kind of like the Kanto Starters a bit more, I won't even lie. But that's probably nostalgia talking. For uniformity and all, and just like everything, origin, typings, stats, just the way they play everything. I thought these were going to be at the top of the top. But no, they're at number 2. And honestly, like I said last time, number 2 ain't a bad spot at all. It's nothing to, you know, look down upon. And it definitely deserved the place at number 2 because Turtwig, Chimchar, and Piplup, again, there's like all 3 of them are very good to use in the games. They're so fun to use in games. I love using all 3 of them. I do love using Turtwig a little bit more, but I'll use any one of them happily, you know. And I've had various different playthroughs with all 3 of them, and it's been a blast every time. Like, absolutely every time. It doesn't matter which starter I have, they're just fun to use. And in the anime, Ash's Turtwig and Paul and Ash's Chimchar and Dawn's Piplup, all 3 of them had very like unique and distinct personalities and all. So the Sinnoh Starters have made their mark in the Pokemon world, alright? And they come in at the number 2 spot. And for the number 1 spot, I know you guys might be shocked that I'm shocked, but I'm quite surprised that taking the number 1 spot at 62 votes are none other than the Hoenn Starters, alright? I didn't think these guys are popular in base form. I understood Mudkip was, I understood Trico kind of was. I didn't think many people like Torchic. Torchic is my favorite of the 3. But considering what you guys said last time, and just overall in general, I just never knew that these guys were loved as much as they are. And I'm still kind of confused as to why they are. I love them. I love all the starters. Let's get that straight. But I also have my own personal, you know, affection for these guys. But I never seen this in the community. I always thought, I don't know, I just never heard about this. Am I missing something? I could be missing something, I have no idea. These guys, I don't think this has anything to do with the anime. I really don't. In the anime, Trico's personality is pretty established, so I think all of them were at base forms were pretty established, right? Maybe not Mudkip, but Trico and Torchic really were. But they evolved fairly quickly. I don't think people remember Torchic and Trico as much as they do Grovyle and Combuskin. In Mudkip, Marshtomp, maybe that's a bit debatable, but I think most people remember Grovyle and Sceptile or Combuskin and Blaziken than their base form. Same thing with Marshtomp, I'd say, actually, just because Brock used it so often. Mudkip again has the meme, so that's like its own thing altogether. But I really think this has nothing to do with the anime. In fact, I think this either has entirely to do with their designs or just the games. No, I don't even think it has anything to do with the games. I just think it's designs. I think you guys just love the way they look. I love the way they look. They look weird together as a trio. That's what's surprising me, okay? I love them individually, but as a trio, it's just, they're so weird. I mentioned this in a previous video, the same video, where I talk about the generational themes, right? These guys are just so weird, but they're so cool. They're weird, but cool. So maybe you guys just like weird and cool. I have no idea. I don't know what to say that. I really don't know what to say. Coming in at the number 1 spot, we have, in my opinion, what is probably the weirdest, but also very cool starter trio. The Hoenn Starters. Trico, Torchic, and Mudkip. And just because I think they're weird, doesn't mean that's bad. If you guys love them, you guys love them. And clearly, you guys love them. So that's the list. At the bottom, we have Unova Starters. Unfortunately, I think the Unova Starters get too much hate. Then the Kalos Starters, kind of to be expected, but at the same time, the base forms are probably the best forms of them. And I think people agree that the base Kalos Starters together look pretty cool. So it's kind of unfortunate that they made the bottom since their base forms alone are pretty cool. Maybe as they evolve, it's different, but you know. Coming at number 6, like I said, pretty shocked that the Galar Starters were just 1 vote behind the Kanto Starters. That was quite surprising, I have to say. And then the Kanto Starters, Johto Starters, Alola Starters, Sinnoh Starters, and finally the Hoenn Starters. That was a good recording session. I don't know how long the video is, but it's much shorter than the last episode, and I think I got them done pretty well. So I'm happy for myself, and that was quite fun to talk about as well. Wow, I think it's only been 10 minutes. This is crazy. Well, guys, before I get on to the next question, I do have to tell you one thing, or ask you one thing rather. I don't know what questions to ask you guys, because I do have next week's question. After that, I have no idea, because I can't really go around and ask you guys what is your favorite water type Pokemon and such, right? Because I can't list out all of those Pokemon. Maybe I can go in the comment section and just like Control F and see. But I'm going to have some troubles if I do something large like that. And I would like to do large level questions. I'm just not sure how to go about it. So, 2 things, right? If you guys can suggest what questions to ask in the series, that would be fantastic. I'll happily take your suggestions if they're interesting enough for a community poll question. Or a Poké poll question, sorry. Gotta get the title right. And the second thing would be, if you know how to have a poll set up with a large amount of options rather than me typing them out individually, because I can't type out like 100 Pokemon, right? Or if you know how to go about it a nice way, like in an easy way in the comment section, rather than me control Fing and looking for something. If there's like some YouTube add-on or some website that like filters out comments for you and everything. If there's something like that, please do let me know, because that way, when it comes to like Halloween and stuff, I can ask you guys what is your favorite ghost type Pokemon, and we can have a Halloween themed like Poké poll, you know? So things like that, it would be cool. If you can leave your suggestions in the comments down below, that would be more than wonderful. But for next week's question, we're going to be asking the fake question that I asked in episode 0, alright? We're going to be asking, what is your favorite Kanto gym leader? You got 10 options. You got Brock, Misty, Surge, Erica, Koga, Sabrina, Blaine, Giovanni, Janine, Blue. Got him. Yes. You have all 10 options. When I say Kanto, it's the gym leaders of that region, so we're rocking with all 10 of them. It will be a top 5. It won't be a top 10 because only 10 results. It won't be fair to really go off a top 10. So only top 5. We'll only be covering the top 5. Like I said before, the link will be in the description down below and in the comment section, so be sure to throw in your Poké poll, alright? You got till, I want to say, end of Friday EST. The timing will be there somewhere, but just as soon as you see it, you should make your vote now, basically. Just make your vote as soon as possible, and please be sure to share the poll around as well. Alright, I think that's it. That was a good episode. It was short, it was quick, I liked it. Thanks for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed. Let me know what you thought of the length of the episode. If you think it should be a bit longer or shorter, please do let me know. It won't be as long as the last time, I promise. Hit a bunch of like or dislike button. Let me know how you feel. Comment down below your thoughts and opinions. What did you think of today's list? And who do you think is going to win for next week's video? Please do let me know. Share the video around if you enjoyed and if you want to help support Poké Poll. And finally, subscribe and hit the little bell icon if you want to stay up to date with all my content. Take care of yourselves. Have a wonderful day. And I will see you guys on the next video, alright? Later.